The stars burned cold in the endless void, their light flickering like dying embers. The derelict spaceship Oblivion's maw drifted silently through the abyss, its hull scarred by ancient battles. Inside, the air was thick with the stench of decay and rusted metal. The ship had been lost for centuries, a forgotten relic of a war no one remembered. But now, something stirred within its darkened corridors. Deep in the bowels of the vessel, a lone predator known as Claustrophobic the Unseen activated his cloaking device, his dreadlocks swaying as he moved with lethal precision. He had come to this forsaken wreck seeking honor, hunting the most dangerous game, the perfect prey. His biomask scanned the corridors, revealing heat signatures ahead. Not just one, but dozens. They were Xenomorphs, the perfect killing machines. Their black, chitinous forms slithered through the vents, their drool sizzling on the metal floors. The hive had claimed this ship long ago, breeding in the shadows, waiting for fresh hosts. Claustrophobic bared his fangs in a silent snarl. This was the hunt he had dreamed of. But then something was wrong. The Xenomorphs weren't moving like they should. Their movements were sluggish, erratic. One of them twitched violently, its limbs jerking unnaturally before collapsing. Then it rose again, but its eyes were milky white, its movements jerky and mindless. Zombies. A plague had infected the hive. Claustrophobic's biomask flickered with warnings. Unknown pathogen detected. Biological corruption spreading. The Xenomorphs were being turned into something worse. A hiss echoed through the halls as a pack of infected Xenomorphs shambled forward, their once lethal forms now rotting, their acidic blood blackened and congealed. Behind them, humanoid figures lurched, former crew members, their bodies bloated with the same undead virus. The Predator tightened his grip on his plasma caster. This was no longer just a hunt. This was a war. On the bridge of the ship, the last surviving human, Dr. Elena Voss, slammed her fist against the control panel. The emergency lights flickered as the ship's AI, a fractured remnant of its former self, spoke in garbled tones. Warning, biohazard breach, containment failure. Elena cursed. She had been part of a science team studying the derelict, hoping to uncover its secrets. Instead, they had awakened something far worse. The Xenomorphs had been bad enough, but then the infection had spread. A mutagenic virus, turning everything it touched into ravenous, undead horrors. And now she was trapped. A guttural growl came from the vents above. She spun, raising her pulse rifle, just as a half-rotted xenomorph dropped from the ceiling. His jaw unhinged, dripping black saliva. She fired, the burst tearing through its skull. But more were coming. Then the wall exploded. A massive figure crashed through. Another predator, this one clad in battle-worn armor, its wrist blades gleaming. It roared as it tore into the undead creatures, its movements a blur of violence. Elena didn't know whether to be relieved or terrified. Deep within the ship's reactor core, the source of the plague pulsed like a living thing. A bioweapon, lost to time, designed to reanimate the dead and twist them into unstoppable killing machines. It had been meant for war, but its creators had perished before they could unleash it. Now it had found new hosts. The infected xenomorphs were evolving. Some grew grotesque tumors, their bodies mutating into hulking abominations. Others sprouted additional limbs, their movements becoming faster, deadlier. The virus was adapting, learning, and it was spreading. Claustrophobic fought his way through the hordes, his plasma caster burning through rotting flesh. But for every creature he killed, 3 more took its place. He had faced xenomorphs before, but this was something new. Then he saw it. Predator, but not one of his kin. The skin was gray, its eyes hollow. It moved with the same mindless hunger as the rest. his own kind infected. Krothak let out a roar of fury and charged. Elena ran, the second predator, Gorthak the blooded, at her side. She didn't know why it hadn't killed her yet, but she wasn't about to question it. Right now, they had a common enemy. "We have to destroy the reactor," she shouted over the screeching undead. "The virus is coming from there." Gorthak growled in response, decapitating a zombie with a single swipe. He understood. They fought their way deeper, the ship shaking around them. The infected were everywhere now, a tidal wave of rotting flesh and chitin. Then the walls burst open, xenomorphs, the pure ones, the uninfected, surged forward. The hive was fighting back, recognizing the virus as a greater threat. A three-way war erupted in the corridors. Predators versus xenomorphs versus zombies. Plasma fire, acid blood, and rotting claws tore through the darkness. Elena reached the reactor core, her fingers flying over the controls. "I can overload it," she said, "but we'll have less than a minute to get out." Gorthak grabbed her and activated his wrist device. A countdown began. The core whined, the energy building. Then, with a deafening blast, the ship's heart exploded. Fire consumed the Oblivion's maw, tearing it apart from within. The last thing Elena saw was the void of space rushing toward her, before Gorthak's ship snatched them from the jaws of death. In the aftermath, the wreckage drifted, a tomb for the countless dead. But in the darkness, something stirred. A single, black egg pulsed with unholy life. The war was not over. It had only just begun.